Hi, I'm Mindy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing the wrap up for the books I read in the first half of February. And I managed to read 5 things for the first half of February, and it's been a good start. The first book I finished in February was the first book in the Great Book of Amber, The Amber Chronicles by Roger Zalansky. The first book is The 9 Princes in Amber, and I am really liking this story. It has really unique world building, and the characters are all very memorable, which I have to have good characters for a fantasy series. They're not all super likable, but they are all super memorable and a lot of fun. And Amber is like this magical world that is like the real world, the main world, and all the other worlds like our Earth are just shadows of Amber. And this book starts off with the main character waking up in a hospital in our world, Earth, and not knowing who he is or why he's there or what happened. And we piece together his life and what happened along with the character. Really, really interesting. My only issue with that story was that the storytelling was a little bit too much just saying what happened. I would have liked to be in the moment more, and the author to show what's happening instead of just telling events would have been a little more exciting. But the story itself, brilliant. I gave it 4 stars. So much fun. And I also finished a book at work. With a group of 5th graders, and that was The Phantom Toll Booth by Norton Juster. And since it's the first time I've read this book, I decided to count it, and it has so much great wordplay in it. The main thing about this book is everything centered around wordplay. But it's about a boy who is not satisfied with life. He's bored all the time. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know where to go because everywhere he goes, he wishes he was somewhere else. So he gets this mysterious gift of a phantom toll booth that he can use to go to the lands beyond, to this fantasy world, and he learns a lot of lessons along the way. It's a great one to read at school because there's a lot of, like I said, wordplay and talk of numbers and words, the importance of them. And yeah, it was a good one. This one was pretty funny at times. Next, I have the 2 books that I read for the Gothic Hearts Reading Challenge, which was created by Regina's Haunted Library and has a bunch of other great hosts like Edie Lewis, reviews, and many more. I read 2 newer Gothic stories The first one is The Jin Waits 100 Years by Shabnam Khan, and this is a slightly supernatural gothic tale taking place on a huge manor in South Africa with Indian characters, all Indian characters. There's a lot of family secrets. There's lots of mystery. You gotta love that awesome setting of South Africa. And it's a historical novel. It took place, well, there were a couple different timelines, nearly 100 years apart. There's a story in more modern times where a father and daughter move to this big house which they are sharing with several roommates, and the daughter is piecing together a mystery of the life of the family that originally lived in this house. And then there is a storyline from 100 years before and what was happening with that original family. So, a great one, mysterious. I wouldn't say it's scary, but there were some supernatural elements, but they were not scary. And then the second gothic story I read was The Watchers by A.M. Shine, which is going to be made into a movie soon. It should be a pretty exciting movie. Maybe, if done right. And this was also the book club pick for Jason's Weird Reads book club on Fable. So it was a lot of fun getting everybody's ideas on the book. The Watchers takes place in Ireland, and this woman who is kind of a barfly takes a job that takes her through a path through this forest, and her car breaks down and she is walking trying to find help, and she ends up having to take refuge in this little bunker in the forest, which there are several other strangers there already. Come to find these people have been there a while and they can't escape because there are creatures that come out every night, and it would be deadly to be caught out in the forest at night. And then so it's about these people trapped and what they do to survive and finding out secrets about each other and how they can escape and so on. It was a pretty good story with some surprises throughout. I gave it 3.5 stars. The Jin Waits 100 Years was also 3.5 stars. Then the last book that I finished in the first half of February was Exposed Nerves by Lucy A. Snyder. And I read this poetry collection for the My Bloody Valentine readathon, hosted by Coral from Pretty in Paper Cuts. And the prompt was body part in the title. So Nerves. This was a pretty good horror poetry collection. This collection takes on several tough issues, kind of things that grind your gears, something in life. And there's like a section on each. Part 1 is Dark Matter. Dark Matter, which had really tough issues like mental health. Part 2, You Might Feel a Slight Sting, was poems about doctors and medicine, kind of horror stories. And part 3, With Torches, kind of issues in society, I think. It's the gist of this section. Hypocrisies and stuff. Racism and all kinds of kind of protest type of thing. And then part 4 is Final Frontiers, which all had to do with like astronauts and space travel. And yeah. So I really liked the first and the third parts that were more topics that I cared about and affected me. I don't necessarily have a problem with the medical industry other than the price of it in the US, but or with the space program. So those sections, some of the poems were pretty good, but they weren't, didn't touch my heart like the other ones did. I gave this collection 3.5 stars as well. Those are the 5 books I read in the first half of February. The second half of February is going very well as well, and I can't wait to tell you about the books I've been reading recently. And I will be back very soon with another book-related video. Thanks. Bye.